Get ready, Days of Our Lives fans. The next 2 weeks in Salem are about to explode with betrayals, confessions, surprise returns, and rekindled passions. From April 7th to April 18th, the drama doesn't let up for a second. Whether it's explosive family secrets, forbidden romance, or long-awaited showdowns, these upcoming episodes promise twists you won't see coming. Let's dive into everything we know so far. Salem is once again in chaos after E.J. DiMera is gunned down in a brazen, unexpected attack. But as he lies unconscious in a hospital bed, the real battle is happening outside his room, and it's a war of words between two of Salem's most volatile women. Gabby Hernandez and Kristen DiMera are locked in a dangerous standoff, each accusing the other of pulling the trigger. On the surface, it's a case of she said. But dig a little deeper, and the motives, secrets, and long-standing rivalries between these two women begin to paint a far more complicated picture. Both have a history with E.J. Both have something to gain, or lose, from his silence. And both are more than capable of deceit. Kristen claims Gabby was lurking around the DiMera mansion that night, acting suspicious, possibly even unhinged. Gabby, in turn, accuses Kristen of staging the whole scene to cover up her own dark agenda. But here's the twist. What if neither of them actually pulled the trigger? Soon, we'll get Gabby's version of events. Her timeline, her whereabouts, and a glimpse into what she really saw the night E.J. was shot. But her account may raise more questions than it answers. Was Gabby simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, or is she hiding something? J.J. Devereaux and Sean Brady intensify their investigation, determined to uncover the truth behind the shooting. But as they dig deeper, they'll discover that this case may not have a single suspect. It may have layers of betrayal and buried secrets. And while all eyes are on the investigation, a different kind of drama is unfolding at E.J.'s bedside. Belle Black, caught in her own emotional whirlwind, sits quietly beside E.J., pouring her heart out in a vulnerable moment. She speaks of regret, of love, of a connection she tried to deny. But her words don't go unheard. Just as Belle finishes her heartfelt confession, Sammy Brady walks in. And here's everything. The explosion that follows isn't physical, but it's no less violent. Sammy and Belle reignite a long-standing feud that's been simmering beneath the surface for years. Betrayal, loyalty, family, it all comes rushing out in a blistering, emotionally charged confrontation. And it's only the beginning. As if the blow-up with Belle weren't enough, Sammy finds herself spiraling. Emotionally raw, wounded, and desperate for something steady, she turns to someone familiar, someone who once knew her better than anyone else, Rafe Hernandez. Their paths cross unexpectedly, both reeling from recent turmoil. Rafe is dealing with the fallout from Sean and Jada's situation, and Sammy is once again shouldering the emotional chaos of her family's legacy. A few quiet moments of shared grief soon shift into something else entirely. A glance, a touch, a memory. Before either of them can stop it, the dam breaks, and years of buried passion surge to the surface. It starts with a kiss. Soft, tentative, but loaded with history. Then, in a moment neither planned, they fall back into each other's arms, physically and emotionally. The chemistry that once defined them reignites with ferocity. They don't talk. They don't explain. They feel. By the time the scene cuts, the two are wrapped in each other under the sheets, vulnerable, breathless, and unsure of what comes next. But secrets don't stay secret in Salem for long. Javi Hernandez walks in on them, and what he sees leaves him stunned. His eyes widen. His expression twists with confusion and fury. He doesn't say a word, but he doesn't have to. The damage is done. And whatever sense of comfort Sammy and Rafe thought they found in each other? It's about to be shattered by reality. Because in Days of Our Lives, nothing stays buried, and every emotional escape comes with a price. Across town, things are heating up for Salem's younger generation, and the emotions are just as intense as any long-standing feud. Chanel Dupree Demera is starting to sense that something is off with Johnny. He's distracted, secretive, and keeping her at arm's length. At first, she brushes it off as stress over EJ's shooting, but the more she watches him, the more convinced she becomes that he's hiding something much bigger. And then the thought hits her. What if Johnny had something to do with the shooting? It sounds impossible, unthinkable, but EJ's history with his children has always been complicated, and if Johnny had a motive, or knew more than he's admitting, Chanel knows she needs to get to the truth. Overwhelmed, she turns to the one person she trusts for guidance, her mother, Paulina Price. Chanel opens up about her fears, confessing that she's scared of what she might find out if she keeps digging. Because if Johnny was involved in what happened to EJ, even indirectly, the fallout could destroy everything they've built together. And while Chanel battles emotional suspicion, another young heart in Salem is dealing with something just as raw, heartbreak. Tate Black is still reeling after Holly Jonas abruptly ended things. For Tate, it wasn't just puppy love, it was real, messy, and deeply personal. Now he's left picking up the pieces, struggling to understand what went wrong. That's when Sophia Choi steps in. She becomes a soft landing for Tate's grief. A quiet, steady presence who listens without judgment and doesn't try to fix anything. But even as Sophia offers comfort, Holly has already moved on, fast. And not just emotionally. She's growing closer to Doug Williams III, spending more time with him at the Kuriakis' mansion, and making no effort to hide their budding connection. So when Tate shows up unexpectedly and finds Doug in Holly's room, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire. Tension snaps, words fly, and a confrontation brews, one that could quickly turn physical. But Holly? She doesn't flinch. She tells Tate exactly how she feels. She ended things for a reason. Her life is her own now. And who she spends time with, Doug included, is none of Tate's business anymore. For Salem's next generation, love and jealousy are proving just as combustible as any Demera scandal. Back in the boardrooms of power, the chaos in the Demera family opens the door for a bold corporate ambush, and Xander Kuriakis is ready to walk right through it. With EJ incapacitated and infighting tearing Demera Enterprises apart, Xander sees a rare opportunity to strike. But he's not doing it alone. He's teamed up with none other than Philip Kuriakis, an alliance that's as volatile as it is ambitious. Together, they're planning a full-scale business assault. Ruthless, calculated, and aimed at toppling the Demera stronghold from the inside out. They want control, and they're willing to use every weapon, legal or not, to get it. But just as things begin to fall into place, a new problem emerges. Alex Kuriakis. He's been quietly supporting the cover-up of a forged letter that helped Philip manipulate his way into power. But now, the guilt is setting in. The pressure is rising, and Alex is losing patience. He doesn't like the lies. He doesn't like the manipulation. And most of all, he doesn't like the wedge it's driving between him and Sarah. Sarah, meanwhile, is more pragmatic. To her, keeping the letter buried is just part of the game, especially if it helps protect Philip and preserve the Kuriakis family's business edge. But for Alex, it's not just business anymore. It's personal. The resentment is simmering. The cracks are forming. And as the weight of the deception grows heavier, Alex may be the one to blow it all wide open. Because in Salem, no secret stays buried forever. And when the truth comes out, it tends to explode. In one of the most emotionally raw turns of the upcoming weeks, Sammy Brady is finally forced to confront a truth she's kept buried for years. During a quiet and deeply personal moment with Johnny, she reflects on one of the darkest chapters of her life, when EJ Demera, the man she once loved, blackmailed her into sleeping with him in exchange for Lucas Horton's life. It was a moment of trauma, one she tried to forget. But it's also the night Johnny was conceived. Now, with Johnny older, wiser, and embroiled in his own Demera family chaos, Sammy is beginning to question everything. Was she wrong to shield him from the truth? Did she deny him the full story to protect him, or protect herself? As they reconnect, Sammy carries the guilt of that night like a shadow. And yet, despite everything EJ has done, part of her still feels something for him. It's not romance. It's not forgiveness. It's a twisted, complicated attachment built on pain, passion, and a lifetime of unfinished business. It's a love that never healed properly. But this isn't the only family reckoning unfolding in Salem. Rex Brady makes a sudden return, bruised, bloodied, and shaken after a mysterious hit-and-run accident. On the surface, he brushes it off, telling Kate that he's fine. But Kate isn't buying it. Her instincts kick in. Something doesn't feel right. And as she connects the dots, EJ's growing list of enemies, his desire for control, his silence in the wake of the accident, Kate starts to wonder, was Rex targeted? Could EJ have orchestrated an attack? Her concern quickly turns to suspicion, and suspicion into obsession. Later, Rex opens up to Roman Brady with a startling admission. He doesn't fear EJ, he fears Kate. He's convinced she might take matters into her own hands, unleashing. Later, Rex opens up to Roman Brady with a startling admission. He doesn't fear EJ, he fears Kate. He's convinced she might take matters into her own hands, unleashing her wrath in a way only Kate Roberts can. Because if she believes EJ tried to hurt her son, retaliation won't be a maybe, it'll be inevitable. Just when the Kuriakis family thinks they've survived one crisis, another walks through the front door, literally. Vivian Alamain is back. Somehow, someway, she's found her freedom from Statesville, and she's not wasting any time making her presence felt. Within hours of her arrival, she storms into the Kuriakis' mansion with a simple message: she wants what she's owed. And she'll do whatever it takes to get it. Vivian's return is more than an uninvited homecoming. It's a calculated power play. She was the puppet master behind the forged letter that allowed Philip to seize a financial advantage, and now she's calling in her favor. She wants money, power, leverage, and if she doesn't get it, she's ready to blow the whole scheme wide open. Philip scrambles to keep her quiet. Kate, seasoned in war and blackmail, knows exactly how dangerous Vivian can be. Together, they try to negotiate, offering compromise after compromise. But Vivian doesn't want compromise, she wants control. And as April 14-18 unfolds, the Kuriakis' mansion becomes a chessboard for high-stakes maneuvering. Kate and Philip must work together like never before, walking a razor's edge between protecting their secrets and neutralizing a threat that could bring their empire crashing down. But with Vivian, it's never just business. It's personal, it's calculated, and it's always 2 moves ahead. The question is, who's going to outplay who? The investigation into EJ Demera's shooting is tearing through Salem like a slow-burning fuse, and it's beginning to ignite cracks in one of the town's most unexpected romances. J.J. Devereaux has been standing by Gabby Hernandez's side, defending her, trusting her, but the deeper he digs into the case, the more uneasy he becomes. Something isn't adding up. The timeline, her reactions, the carefully chosen words. JJ knows Gabby too well to ignore the subtle signs that she may not be telling him everything. And once that seed of doubt is planted, it begins to grow. Their conversations become more tense. Gabby pulls away. JJ grows more suspicious. And the emotional bond they've been building starts to splinter under the weight of secrecy. By the end of the 2 weeks, the pressure may become too much to bear. A breakup seems all but inevitable, a quiet unraveling of a relationship that once promised redemption for both of them. But JJ isn't ready to walk away. Not yet. Despite the betrayal he fears, despite the silence he hates, there's a part of him that still believes in Gabby. Still wants to believe she's innocent, or at least honest. And if there's even a chance she's protecting herself for a good reason, JJ is willing to fight to bring the truth to light. Even if it means confronting her directly. Even if it means watching her walk away. Because sometimes, in Salem, love isn't about trust, it's about whether you're willing to chase the truth even when it breaks your heart. In the next 2 weeks, Days of Our Lives isn't just serving drama, it's doubling down. From buried confessions to rekindled passions, from emotional explosions to whispered betrayals, Salem is spiraling deeper into chaos. Will Gabby finally reveal the truth, or will the pressure destroy everything she's built with JJ? Can Johnny survive Chanel's growing doubts? Or will the secrets he's hiding cost him everything he loves? And is Sammy really done with EJ, or is history preparing to repeat itself in the most painful way possible? These aren't just stories, they're reckoning points. Because in Salem, no secret stays buried. No relationship is ever truly safe. And no one, stays innocent for long. So stay tuned, because the storm is far from over. And the fallout has only just begun.